No, you don't need their permission. You never did. Solitude. They told you it is weakness to be alone, to sit in silence when everyone else is screaming. But Miyamoto Musashi killed 60 men in single combat, and he spent most of his life alone. Not because he had to, because he chose to. The cave doesn't make you weak. The cave makes you dangerous. Musashi's first teacher didn't teach him how to fight. He taught him what failure feels like. He made it so heavy, so suffocating, that the only way out was to change. Most men never feel that weight. They surround themselves with noise, with laughter, with approval, so they never have to sit with the truth of what they've become. Musashi sat with it, alone, in a cave, for years. He didn't meditate for peace. He meditated to understand exactly what he was capable of. There is a difference. Peace asks nothing of you. Clarity asks everything. Most people cannot sit in silence for 5 minutes. Not because silence is painful, because in silence, you hear what you've been avoiding, the excuses, the half-finished plans, the version of you that still waits for permission. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers you're not ready for. This is why Musashi chose the cave, not to escape the world, to hear himself clearly. You fear silence because it shows you exactly where you stopped. Exactly where you made peace with less than you are capable of. Go back there. Sit with it. Don't look away. He trained with wood, not because he couldn't afford iron, because he understood something most never do. The weapon doesn't make the warrior. The warrior makes the weapon. When you train with what you have, when you sharpen yourself with resistance instead of resources, you build something that cannot be bought. Musashi fought his deadliest duel with a wooden sword, carved from an oar on the boat ride over. His opponent had polished iron. Musashi had conviction. Conviction arrived first. Can you sit alone for 1 hour without picking up your phone? Be honest. He wrote one book, The Book of 5 Rings, written at 60 in a cave with no audience. He wasn't writing for you. He was writing because the truth demanded to be recorded. When you do your best work, does it need an audience? Or does the work justify itself? The man who needs applause to work is not working. He is performing. Musashi performed for no one. He sharpened himself in private so that in public, he was inevitable. There is a moment in every man's life when the noise stops. Not because the world went quiet, because he stopped listening. He looked in the mirror and asked, who would I be if no one was watching? Not the version I post, not the version I perform, the version that lives alone in the decisions I make at 3 a.m. when no one will ever know. That version is the real one. Musashi knew that version intimately. He lived there, deliberately. He trained him, tested him, trusted him. You have that version too. The question is, do you know him, or have you been too busy performing to find out? Invisible. For years, they didn't see him coming. They laughed at the man who trained alone. They mocked the silence. Then he walked through 60 of them, one by one. You don't need to be seen to become dangerous. You only need to be consistent. The best version of you is not built in front of anyone. It is built in the dark, when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Your real enemy is not the man across from you. Your real enemy is the version of you that quit, that gave up, that chose the easier path. He lives in your phone, in your feed, in the excuse you made yesterday. Musashi understood this. Every time he faced a sword, he wasn't fighting the man. He was fighting his own hesitation, and he killed it. Every single time. The practice of solitude is not retreat, it is preparation. While others socialize, you sharpen. While others seek comfort, you calibrate. While others talk about discipline, you are already 3 months ahead. The blade that never faces heat never becomes steel. Musashi lived in caves, not because he was poor. He chose poverty deliberately. He refused gifts from lords. He refused gold. He refused comfort, because comfort is the enemy of mastery. Every time you choose ease over resistance, you trade a piece of your edge, not all at once, slowly, until one day the blade is dull and you don't even remember it being sharp. When did you last choose difficulty deliberately? Not because life forced you, because you understood you needed the friction. Or have you been so comfortable that comfort started to feel like progress? The man who cannot be alone cannot be trusted with himself. And a man who cannot be trusted with himself cannot be trusted with anything that matters. Return. There is a moment when the man forged in solitude walks back into the world, and it is not the same man. He doesn't need the crowd's approval. He doesn't need the noise. He carries his silence with him, like a weapon no one can see. This is the power of solitude, not the absence of people, the presence of yourself. Full, forged, finished. Go into the dark. Build what cannot be taken. Return when you are ready. He was not remembered because he was the strongest. There were stronger men. He was not remembered because he was the fastest. There were faster men. He was remembered because he understood one thing. The man who masters himself masters everything. Every morning he chose the cave over the court. Every evening he chose the brush over the blade. Because mastery is not a destination, it is a direction. Choose the direction every single day. Musashi died alone, in a cave, holding a brush. He wrote his last words in a letter to his students: respect the gods and Buddha, but do not rely on them. He relied on himself from the beginning to the end. That is the power of solitude.